favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any two plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
KERX, Paris Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3.
Lane Kiffin marches with his crew. Sam Pittman got the Hogs and you. Rubik, hear the stadium roar. Fayetteville is ready for war. Beat the Red Bulls, bring the pain. Ole Miss dreams go down the drain. Rubik, we fight tonight. Playoffs die in this life. Mississippi hope shining bright.
And welcome into a Football Friday edition of the Morning Rush. We're at 11 o'clock tomorrow. It's going to be 67 degrees on November the 2nd. Still can't believe it. Every time I pull up the weather app, Tommy, I don't think it's real that we're this far into fall and winter and near winter. And you've talked about this. I don't think we're going to get much of a fall. It's just going to go straight to winter once it gets, even though it is in fall, it feels like summer. But that's where we're at. It's 48 degrees, I think, in Fayetteville right now.
It's nice. It's
Feels
nice
good
out there. Little pullover weather. So, yeah, we're going to have, I don't know if it's football weather tomorrow, but it is for me. For some, I don't know, football's the one sport that really gets every extreme. I guess baseball, college baseball does as well. But this is my kind of weather out there right now. So, it's been way too warm, and glad it's toned itself down and gotten a little more seasonable.
We got a lot to discuss. We got football, Lane Kiffin, Sam Pittman, what they had to say in the SEC teleconference earlier this week. There was quite an incident that happened with the New York Jets and who did they play last night? Was it the Bucks? Help me out on this, Biggs. The Texans last night. C.J. Stroud was on his backside pretty consistently. They finally got a win. The Jets did. Some holidays to get into as well. National Jersey Friday, apparently. None of us are in jerseys today. You've got a polo shirt and a vest. Mm-hmm. We're both wearing flannels of sorts. No one's sporting a jersey the day after Halloween. No one was dressed up last night. No one was dressed up yesterday in the show. Did give kids some candy, though. I felt like I did my part as a 29-year-old last night. Didn't go trick-or-treating, but I did give kids some candy last night.
You couldn't
get. It's hard for you to adult, wasn't it?
It's very difficult.
It's hard for you to be an adult.
There are areas of my life that it is more difficult to be than an adult than you might realize.
Hey, if you're going to fish this weekend, if it's going to be on the Arkansas River or your favorite lake, be sure to take the Heddon Super Spook Jr. with you. The Super Spook Jr. is the smaller version of the world's most famous lure. It's been tricking big bass for nearly 100 years. Find the Heddon Super Spook Jr. at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. It's the Heddon Super Spook Jr.
2nd and 12. Rogers under pressure. Throws one-handed caught. Wilson touchdown. 4-man rush. Rogers to the end zone. Wilson hitting one-handed and staying in bounds. He is close. That's what the crowd is reacting to. Extra pressure. Touchdown.
So one of the best games and really one of the few games that Aaron Rodgers has actually played good this season. But the storyline, and help me on this as a ref, Christian and I were talking about this before the show, Tommy. Big C, you told me Malachi Corley had his chance at his first NFL touchdown, first career touchdown last night. Kid dropped it before he got in the end zone.
That is...
I don't understand that.
Where'd the ball end up?
He didn't score a touchdown is all I know.
Did he go through the end zone or did...
No, he dropped it like at the 1. You know how they let go of it? I will never understand that.
It just hit your head on the goalpost, young man. I mean, I don't get it either. But
why do they act like
because the celebration's more important in today's football world, pro and college, than the actual result of your play. Which could be 6 points for your team. It's a selfish act. You've seen it. He's not the first to do it. I guess Leon Lett's the kind of the poster boy for that. But I don't get it either.
Did it for the Eagles. I mean, there's a lot of players that do it. We just don't hear about it as much. But, man, your first career touchdown, what if you don't get one all year after that? I mean,
Who knows?
Should that be a fireable offense in football?
At least a
You're
suspension, man.
just cut.
At least a suspension.
You're cut.
That's the only way
immediately.
it'll stop.
Yeah, it'll start right there. All right, so is there going to be a celebration in Fayetteville, Arkansas tomorrow, starting at 11 o'clock? We mentioned the game time, the temperature, Ole Miss, about a touchdown favorite. The money is going towards Ole Miss, it looks like, as the week has progressed. One of the things I was thinking about last night is we talk about the 3 M schools, right? Do you expect to beat Ole Miss year after year? We'll kick this around the room, then we'll open it up to calls at 877-377-6963. But is that something that you've come to expect? You have a better record overall. Lately in Fayetteville, you've dominated them, haven't lost to them in Fayetteville since 2008. Now, the game's been in different various places like Little Rock, Jackson. Of course, it's also been in Oxford. But do you expect, even as a home underdog, to beat Ole Miss consistently? Or on the road, for that matter. This is a different Ole Miss team for the most part. Lane Kiffin, again, the first time Ole Miss ever got to 10 regular season wins was under Lane Kiffin. Let me refresh. The first time ever that Ole Miss has ever gotten to 10 regular season wins was not till the 21st century. So this is not a program, even with Archie Manning, Eli Manning, some other great players, that has had just this long track record of success. Tommy, you started. Do you think Arkansas fans expect to beat Ole Miss fans year after year?
Well, if you're expecting to beat anybody, you use the word consistently. Does that mean 50-50? I don't know what that, really what you're driving at, but I think you should be competitive in every game, and this series has been fairly even. You shouldn't be getting blown out. And if you can win half or more, I think that's a win. I mean, I don't know that Arkansas is at a point where you should expect to beat anyone in this league, 3 out of 4, 4 out of 5. I just, I don't. That doesn't seem reasonable to me.
What do you think, Big C?
I think at the very least you should expect to beat Ole Miss half the time. I mean, because that's what the history has told you, that you can beat this team. I mean, you've done it quite often. And Missouri, it hasn't happened, but I still think that has the possibility to flip. You just have to.
Well, you have to win about 8 in a row to get even.
Yeah.
He won 2 since he started. And
Mississippi State, yes.
Like, of the teams you play consistently, which is the team you expect to beat the most? Mississippi, if I could talk. Mississippi State? Yeah. Is that where your head goes to, Tommy? I was just thinking where, like, Ole Miss ranks on that list, where, like, when you look at a schedule year after, when we get the schedules, when they announce it, or we're looking in the summer, and we automatically circle and put a W next to it. I think Ole Miss, for the most part, is like second.
Yeah.
Like, that's typically where you put Ole Miss, and you mentioned them at home.
You play, yes. Yeah,
but they're a better program than they've been historically, like you said. So, to me, if you can take the 3 M's and win 2 out of those 3 every year, you probably had at least a bowl season. That would be my thought. I don't know that you can win 3 out of 3, 4 out of 5 years, though.
No. All right, let's hear what you think. Again, 877-377-6963. It's time to get into our opening drive.
At the 15, cuts back at the 10. This game's still alive, and the Hogs have a first down.
Field goal range was significantly shorter. We needed to build confidence in Shipley.
He can get too overhyped, so one more focus on him, just continue to prepare and play the same way that he has been.
2nd and 12. Rodgers under pressure. Throws one-handed, caught. Wilson, touchdown.
Mott is on his way in. Strope is on his way out, pointing toward the heavens. We can only ask or wonder that he is asking some departed relative for forgiveness for this atrocious performance.
This is the opening drive presented by First Financial Mortgage in Fort Smith.
So Bob Costa is 72 years old. According to Andrew Marchand of The Athletic, Tommy is retiring from calling MLB games. He'll still be on for the MLB Network from time to time as a contributor. You are a big Bob Costas fan. He's been doing it for, I think, 44 years, if I have that math right. But this
still looks about 24.
Yeah, he's aged,
he has aged
about
very well.
as well as any broadcaster in it. But any thoughts on this announcement that is, I guess, set to come and it's being reported on?
I mean, he's one of the icons of sports media in my lifetime, but I didn't go seek him out to, hey, Bob Costas is calling this game. I'm gonna watch it. I just enjoy it when he does because I think he's one of the best to ever do it. So anytime one of the greats leaves, you put him in that same group for me with He's not Vin Scully. Vin Scully's on a shelf by himself, but he's in that Al Michaels, Pat Summerall type shelf for me.
And you heard Al Michaels there, of course, calling the Thursday night games with Kurt Herbstreit last night. I just and we got into a little bit of a just disagreement, I would say. I just know him more for like 90s NBA basketball, but I didn't grow up as much as a lot of our listeners did with baseball. I think he did himself a disservice, and I think some broadcasters, what they do at the end of their career is when they're not as good or they're not as revered as they used to be, or just as talented as what they were, they hurt their brand. And I felt like the last however many years, Colin, he just hasn't been as good, which has maybe diminished himself a little bit as a broadcaster. But I did find that interesting that, again, after all these years, 40-plus years of calling baseball games, he's calling it quits after that, which is, I mean, you think about what he's got. He's got like a Vern Lundquist type of, like, you think about all the great things he's gotten to call, Tommy, Olympics, baseball, NBA basketball. I mean, just to do so many events over the years is awesome.
Well,
just an experience overall.
He's more known probably for being the studio host at the Olympics for most that are probably listening today. That's the assignment you probably saw him the most on. But, he's been everywhere in sports, and you're right. All the big moments, he seemed to be there.
One of the things that we received yesterday, this is Arkansas related, Tom, is Hunter Yurachek's email. Now, I know we talked about it a little bit before the show. You're the business guy. I look at things a lot of times from a fan perspective. We're going to play some clips from Chuck and Bo this morning. He appeared on their program from 8 o'clock to about 8:15 or so. What did you make of this email and what they're moving forward? Not just with the restructuring of Bud Walton Arena and the seating, but the the concession price, the 3% that's going on which affects way more people. Yes, correct.
Which starts tomorrow. And, he gave the example in his email that, if you spend $10 at the concession stand, it's going to cost you an extra 30 cents, and that's going to help make up for a $22 million revenue sharing that's coming, $3 million more in the cost of scholarships that's coming with the restructuring of limits in some sports and the expansion of more scholarships in others. It's 75 to 100 more scholarships. So they're trying to figure out how to cover or gap $15 million. They've done some of that because it's really about a $25 million gap. They've done some of it with major corporate sponsorships with Walmart and Tyson, but that's not enough. So the big deal is going to be that's going to draw the criticism of a lot of fans is the reseating at Bud Walton Arena, meaning what you have to give now to sit where you're at now is going to get more expensive. You want to stay in your seats, your donation to the foundation is going up. It's pure and simple business. When the cost of doing business goes up, it has to be passed along to the consumer. And none of us want that buck to stop with us, but it's the reality. Sean, with the fence man's here, if the cost of wood panels and nails go up, what happens to the price of the fence that I might buy?
Unfortunately, it will go up.
So if the cost of doing business, and Hunter Yurachek's not alone in this. I don't know how many other ADs put out a detailed email to their fan base to let them know, hey, here's the dollars and cents, here's the P&L of it, here's what the balance sheet's going to look like. I don't know how many have gotten to this level of conversation, but his pain is not felt alone. Every university's feeling this, from the big ones to Arkansas to the ones that are much smaller.
We'll play some of those sound bites for you coming up, but that's where we start on our opening drive this morning. It's brought to you by our friends at First Financial Mortgage. Really appreciate Ethan Adamson, Emily, and their entire team over there. Ethan's been there over 10 years helping out with your first mortgage, refinancing. They have a 5.0 rating on Google reviews because it's not just me that had a great experience, but nearly 300 others that have rated them as well. Give them a call at 479-782-9300 or go online to ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender. Did you and your wife dress up, Sean, at all? Did y'all do anything participatory last night for Halloween?
Nope.
You ask everybody that. Not one adult has told you yes.
Well, some adults have kids. Some adults go to parties. You're acting like it's an abnormal thing. I don't understand the last 2 days. You're acting like
one
it's
adult dressed up. No,
you
it
realize
is.
There's been parties. There's kids. There's nephews. There's nieces. I don't know why you're acting like it's an abnormal thing over there.
I'm going to rescue you.
Okay, go ahead.
So, yes, my wife, unfortunately, is out of town.
Okay.
But last year, she had a blow-up T-Rex costume.
Okay.
So she was in costume, handing out candy, chasing kids in a T-Rex costume.
Okay.
So, and if she was here this year, we had a Halloween party, and she dressed up as I dressed up as Sully, and she dressed up as Mike from Monsters Inc.
Okay.
She had a little blow, and we would have done that. So yes.
Okay. All right.
We like doing that
I
with
just want to make sure that Tommy knows that some adults do dress up from time to time, even though he's acting like it's normal. It's not normal. All right, let's look.
I don't know anybody that's an adult that did that yesterday.
Parties with
Well,
their
they wouldn't
kids. That's typical, Tommy. That's that's normal. But whatever. Let's get in our picks from last week. Navy is a 14.5-point underdog hosting Notre Dame. We got a Service Academy, Clay. Can they cover against Zach Arns' Fighting Irish?
I've been less than enthused about Notre Dame all year. I'm going to go with Navy.
Taking the midshipmen or Fighting Irish?
Oh, no, I'm going to take the midship.
Are you an American if you don't pick Navy? I'm taking Navy in this one. Speaking of America, I think all of America outside of a small metropolitan area in Austin, Texas, is going to take Vanderbilt, including myself. Vanderbilt, Clay, is an 18.5-point favorite in this one. Does Diego Pavia and company, do they at least cover against the Longhorns?
I think so. And I like the points here. I think Vanderbilt, this is their year.
We pass it to you, Mr. Sean.
There's no way I can go with Texas. I'm sorry.
Can't do it.
I don't care how good they are. I don't care what's going on. It's Vandy points, and let's just get it done. And I think Texas needs to be swept under the carpet.
It's going to be tense in your household this weekend. 2 undefeated teams, College Station, Texas, where your wife went to school, LSU in town. Initially, I was taking LSU in this game, but as the week's grown on, I'm going to lean towards Texas A&M in this one, Sean.
I am too. Their starting quarterback is
Wigman, yeah.
I don't like him, but the backup guy, man, if they'll put him in there, I think they'll win.
Well, that's good analysis.
Clay, what are you thinking? We got A&M or the visiting LSU Tigers?
Aggies at home.
Let's come back to what's happening in Starkville this weekend. Razorbacks 6.5-point favorites on the Bet Saracen app right now against Mississippi State. I think they win. I do not have Arkansas covering this game.
I think they'll win by a touchdown.
Okay. So you've got them covering.
I go with Arkansas and give the point.
How about here in Fayetteville, Budwalden Arena? Bet Saracen has this as a 4.5-point line. Arkansas is a 4.5-point underdog against the number 1 team in the country. Guys, I do not think they cover tonight. I think it's going to be a fun atmosphere, but I think the Jayhawks cover in this game, fellas. What do you think, Sean?
Going against the number 1 team, we're only 4 points.
4.5, yeah.
4.5 points.
You got some talent here in Fayetteville.
I think we've got something to be excited about this year. So I think, yes, you're right. I would love for my Hogs to win, but again, like you said earlier, I think they're going to put people out there to see how they play, and it's not so much about the win.
I think Arkansas will win 2 of the 4 quarters.
Okay.
But Kansas is going to win.
How about the Marcel Reed tidbit you heard there, Tommy? Who ended up being the reason that A&M won in the second half. All right, we've got some good games this weekend. Good pick. Good selection on that.
I like him a lot as a quarterback.
I didn't realize. So I used to do a coach's show in Nashville, and that's Rod Reed, who used to coach Tennessee State's son. I had no idea, which was really cool because I loved him, and so now that his son is succeeding, that's awesome. All right, let's go to Auburn first, guys. Surprisingly, Auburn is a 7-point favorite at home against Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt coming off an emotional loss to Texas. Tommy, does Vanderbilt cover as a road 7-point dog this weekend?
Yes. I would stay on the Vandy train until proven otherwise.
Choo-choo! I'm staying on Vandy too, Sean.
I'm with you guys. I think they should have won last week, but Auburn doesn't have what it takes.
Florida against Georgia, world's largest cocktail party. Tommy, Georgia's a 15-point favorite. I think the Bulldogs blow out the Gators this weekend. I'm surprised Napier's not fired. This does not help him out at all, though. I got Georgia big in this one.
Hunker down, you hairy dogs. Georgia.
Florida's not doing well at all. So Georgia's got this one.
All right, this is a big one. South Carolina hosting A&M. South Carolina is a 3-point home underdog. This is not going to be an easy test for Mike Elko and company. I'm going to take South Carolina to cover and outright win this game. I think A&M's in trouble. I really do, John. I think A&M's in trouble this weekend. I've got the Gamecocks.
Well, the Gamecocks have been very surprising this year and have won some stuff they probably shouldn't have won, but they were able to pull it out. But I'm going to go with my quarterback. He'll put Reed in, A&M's got this hands down.
Taking Marcel Reed. Tommy, you got the home team or the road team? As A&M is a 3-point road favorite.
Give me the road Aggies. So
Kentucky going to Knoxville to take on the Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee is a 17.5-point favorite. I know Bruce Stanley wants to keep that one loss in the SEC where it's at. They've got a big one coming up against Georgia. Tommy, I've got Tennessee covering. Kentucky's bad. I know they got that Ole Miss win.
How many points?
But 17.5.
Give me Kentucky.
What do you think, Sean?
That's
We got one on the blue, one on the orange.
I'm going to go with Tommy. 17 points is a lot. I think Kentucky will keep it within 17.
All right, so I just got on the Bet Saracen app. Arkansas is currently a 7.5-point underdog against Ole Miss as of 9:20 this morning, right now, currently. Does Arkansas cover in this game? Tommy, I've said all week I think it's a 3-point win for Arkansas. I think Matthew Shipley knocking down some field goals last week was big for his confidence. I think this is going to be a close game. I have Arkansas in covering and winning in this football game starting at 11 a.m. tomorrow.
I think it will be a close game. I'm not as confident about the outcome as you are, but give me the Hogs and the points.
7.5-point underdogs. The Hogs at home, Sean.
I'm taking the Hogs and the points.
Taking the Hogs and the points.
Yep.
There's some. When you look at this, what this could be, 2 years ago, this win got them to bowl eligibility. Tommy, you brought it up. For them to be 9 games in and to already be a bowl team, I think that'd be a pretty significant jump from where they were a year ago.
And
Not that it's the end-all be-all, but it is significant this early in November.
And relieve a lot of pressure, as well on the team and the staff. All right, those are your Fence Man Friday picks brought to you by the Fence Man. Sean, I know this rain's probably helped a little bit with getting fences up and making that ground a little softer for you guys out there. We hadn't had rain in forever.
Oh, it's been great, yeah. So we were able to get some things done. It does, but you're right. All with the drought, the ground's been like concrete, and it's been tearing up our equipment, but we still keep getting it done. We find a way to make it happen.
All right, 782-3936. I know you got some big jobs going on at the Fort Smith Airport. You guys don't shy away from big industrial and government jobs either.
No. I am so proud of my team. I'll take on any fence company and any job someone wants to bring to us. You want us to look at it, you want to get a free quote, I mean, you name it. It was industrial, gate access, residential home, fixing a gate. We're here for you.
782-3936 for the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
It's home for the best sports talk.
I absolutely love your show. I can't listen to anything else on the drive to work in the morning other than the morning rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Folks, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
No, it's not Christmas yet.
No, Mom, he's referring to football season.
Oh, speaking of football, guess what we just got in?
Season tickets?
Sideline passes?
Well, close. We just started receiving the Nike sideline apparel like hats and polos.
Yeah, but did we get jerseys?
Yeah, we got both kinds, cardinal and white.
We also have youth and adult sizes.
That's great. People have been asking for that for quite some time now. Matt, by the way, I did some research, and there's no shot for going viral.
Oh, Lord. Mom, he's a goner.
Anyway, besides Nike, we also have Champion, Cutter and Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many other brands.
All at the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, which is 989 South Razorback Road, next to Baumwalker Stadium. Matt, you tell them all about them interweb page.
He means the website, which is shop on Razorback.com.
Or give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're needing a used car, we've got them. Everything from the most affordable cash cars to road-ready certified with warranty. The best used cars your money can buy. And we've got a finance option for everyone, whether you have great credit and you're looking for the best rate or you're needing to build your credit with a reputable lender. We've got you. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
The long wait is almost over, Waldron. Wave Rural Connect will be opening the Waldron Zone for orders November the 18th. If you registered before the 18th, you still need to put in your product order when Waldron opens. Amazing fiber internet and phone, all from a local provider in Ozark, Arkansas, is coming to Waldron. Pre-register online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
It's fall cleanup time at Gray Brothers Equipment. From the large M7 Series cab Kubotas to the L2502, the best-selling compact tractor in Arkansas and Oklahoma. Gray Brothers and Kubota will make your fall cleanup a breeze. With great pricing and interest rates as low as 0% for 84 months, they're making fall cleanup enjoyable again at Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon. Now through 12/31/2024, see us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information.
The Solid Rock has been locally owned for over 46 years. When was the last time you were there? So much more than a bookstore. They have Christian t-shirts, church supplies, Bible studies, devotionals, home decor, gifts, and of course, a large selection of Bibles. And Bibles are engraved free of charge while you wait. Now, you can get custom laser engraving on select gift items and some Bibles. Located next to Sam's Club on South 74th, The Solid Rock is your source for faith-based books, music, clothing, and more. The Solid Rock, 452-4844.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Tomorrow o'clock, 11 will be the start of Arkansas and Ole Miss on ESPN, right here on ESPN
What
Arkansas.
the hell did he just say?
What did I say, tomorrow o'clock?
Tomorrow
okay.
o'clock 11.
Tomorrow o'clock 11. Words are getting jumbled
Are
this
you
morning.
okay?
Somewhat. Yeah, I didn't sleep well last night, if I'm being dead honest. I guess I'm excited about this game. I went to bed early. I had two bowls of my buddy's chili and woke up and, yeah, I'd had to finish that off or whatever. But either way, we get going at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning from the Stadium Shop on Razorback. They've got a $10 sales rack from 6 to 8 a.m. if you want to take advantage of that. I know I'm excited to see what Robert, Elizabeth, and and Matt Happ for that.
I heard your promo. You sounded excited.
I yelled, yeah.
You were screaming at people. I had to turn it down.
Here's my thing. Here's what I figured. Here's what I figured out. Like, I'm excited to do sports radio every day from 9 to 11. I'm excited to be here at ESPN Arkansas, so I might just exert that excitement when a client asks me to do something from time to time.
Oh, you did.
And Robert texted me. It's like, do you have enough coffee? Yes, Robert, I did when I did that. Let's see what else is going on. This is the anniversary, 21 years back when you beat Kentucky. DeCorey Birmingham scored on that last overtime, and then you stopped Jared Lorenzen.
Birmingham touchdown. And Lorenzen keeping it again. Doesn't get it. He lost it. And Arkansas, Tony Bua comes away with it, and Arkansas comes away with the win.
2001, I should say, not 2003. But on this day, you went into an epic battle. DeCorey had 196 yards, 2 touchdowns. Arkansas won the 7 overtime game, 71-63 against the hefty lefty, the late hefty lefty in that game. That was just one of those quarterbacks that I'll remember him for the rest of my life. Like, you just didn't see a guy that looked like that playing QB in the Southeastern Conference.
You still don't. I mean, see guys like KJ Jefferson when he was here. You see guys that are a little, bigger framed, but you don't see guys like him even still to this day. Saddy's no longer with us.
Yep. And that is your Hog Update this morning. It's brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
I do want to jump more back into that Hunter Yurachek conversation that we had. We're going to play some clips after we get past our Morning Rush Daily question coming up. And your thoughts as a fan, are you okay with paying a 3% fee on all concessions starting tomorrow? Maybe you're a longtime basketball season ticket holder. I talked to a few of them yesterday that it's been in their family for generations. They persevered through the Heath era, the Pelfrey era, the first part of the Mike Anderson era, and now things are going up. And I know that's something that people are passionate about. We'll jump more into that coming up. But for now, we talked to our friend Larry Rath, who had an epic Halloween. Didn't you, Larry? I'm sure the dealership was as popping as it's ever been yesterday, wasn't it?
It was epic. It was fantastic. It was really great at the house last night. 700 pieces of candy given out last night at the
700,
house.
wow.
700. It was fantastic.
Now I heard it was more like I heard it was more like 685 because you had a few samples yourself.
Well, and the grandkids, they gave out some extras. You know, they didn't understand the concept, so I think we got up around that 700.
Did you costume up? Did you go get you a theme? Did you get were you in full attire?
No, I wanted to, but I just didn't get around to getting that done. I just, sat out there in the jacket and took care of those kids. It was a lot of fun.
Well, 700 pieces is taking care of kids. You're also taking care of our listeners this month. You got Road Ready certified vehicles. I know that a lot of people want to come see you in the month of November.
More and more people all the time are figuring it out. I mean, you don't have to settle for anything when you're looking for a used car. You want to look for Road Ready certified with warranty. Only available at Rath Auto Resources and Rath Mitsubishi. You can't buy a better used car, and we've got a bunch of them. Cars, trucks, SUVs. We've really been working on that inventory, and we've got great vehicles in every kind of a category, every kind of a price range. We've got banks and lenders for every kind of credit. If you've got great credit and you're looking for the very best interest rate, we've got those lenders fighting over your business. If you're kind of in a situation where maybe you need to be rebuilding your credit, we got banks and lenders fighting over that too. And they love our business because they know we're selling a better car. They love the Road Ready Certified program, and it really does help get people a better bank call. We call it bank preferred financing, and that Road Ready Certified goes a long way to helping you get the very best payment and interest rate on the car that you're buying. So we've got a big selection. It's going to be a big month of November. Despite everything else that's going on, we're going to sell a lot of cars. Got a bunch of friendly people here. All they want to do is help you do whatever you're trying to do. If you're trying to sell your car, we're buying more cars off the street than we ever have. And, it's a great way to sell your car. It's fast and it's easy. If you're looking to trade cars, obviously we're on board for that. Anytime you are, we're ready to go. If you're looking to take care of your car, maintenance, repairs, the Meineke Car Care Centers They just do a terrific job of taking care of cars and people. They'd love a chance to earn your business on anything, tires, and your next oil change, a major repair, check engine light, whatever. They'll take care of you in the Meineke Car Care Center. So lots of good things going on. We hope you'll come and see us. Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. Check us out online, rathauto.com.
That's the Candyman, Larry Rath, helping you in both Springdale and Fort Smith. All right, Larry, have a great weekend, man. Don't eat too much of the leftovers, okay?
I didn't leave anything over, but we're going to have a great weekend, folks. Y'all come see us.
All right, so, again, coming up, we're going to get in this Hunter conversation. Are you getting screwed as a fan? Are you getting screwed as a season ticket holder? Are you getting screwed as a guy or gal that buys concession tickets? Or is he doing what needs to be done? Do you understand that? We'll take both calls. We'll take text whatever way you want to go. 877-377-6963. We'll do that in our daily question next.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
Hey, this is former Razorback Jake Beckett, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, Hawk fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Folks, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
No, it's not Christmas yet.
No, Mom, he's referring to football season.
Oh, speaking of football, guess what we just got in?
Season tickets?
Sideline passes?
Well, close. We just started receiving the Nike sideline apparel like hats and polos.
Yeah, but did we get jerseys?
Yeah, we got both kinds, cardinal and white.
We also have youth and adult sizes.
That's great. People have been asking for that for quite some time now. Matt, by the way, I did some research, and there's no shot for going viral.
Oh, Lord. Mom, he's a goner.
Anyway, besides Nike, we also have Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many other brands.
All at the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, which is 989 South Razorback Road, next to Baumwalker Stadium. Matt, you tell them all about them interweb page brands.
He means the website, which is shop on Razorback.com.
Or give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
This is the Morning Rush.
Touchdown, Arkansas!
Deer hunting in the comfort of an enclosed 6x6 Lazy Man fiberglass box blind. It's affordable at Jelco Outdoors. Lazy Man Fat Girl Blinds, built here in Fort Smith with your choice of 6-foot or 10-foot tower blind platforms, starting at $22.99.99. Box blinds are great for taking the kids, with plenty of room and out of the weather. Check out the deer blinds at Jelco Outdoors. Hunt longer in the comfort of a Lazy Man box blind, sold locally at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
This is a public service announcement for hard seltzer lovers. Neutral Vodka Seltzer has arrived. Made with simple ingredients like vodka, seltzer, and real juice. Neutral tastes good. Like real good. So good that you'll never want to drink another artificial tasting seltzer again. Neutral's light and refreshing taste will show you what a vodka seltzer can be. Try Neutral, the one with the umlaut. Copyright 2023 Neutral Distilled Spirit Specialty, Los Angeles, California. Enjoy responsibly.
Finally, football season. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria is your #1 place to watch Arkansas and Monday Night Football. During Monday Night Football, $5 refillable beer cups for only $2 refills. Prizes for each score and at the end of every single quarter. Can you believe that they've had the same great pizza since 1996? That's nearly 30 years. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. You'll get the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
At AOG, our main goal is to deliver reliable energy to your home safely. And keeping our team members, customers, and community safe starts with awareness. Natural gas has a distinctive, strong odor, often compared to rotten eggs or sulfur. If you smell gas, leave your home immediately. Go to a safe location and call 911 in addition to AOG. Remember, if you smell gas, act fast. And always call 811 before you dig. To learn more about natural gas safety, visit AOGC.com. AOG, energy for life.
What's new and what's on sale at Wheeler Power Sports? Many new bikes, quads, and side-by-sides from Kawasaki, Suzuki, and Polaris are arriving weekly. New to the dealership, the Polaris Ranger XT 1500, Kawasaki Ridge with a full cabin, HVAC, and the all-new Brute Force 450. Plus, we have rebates and dealer discounts totaling as much as $6,000 off certain side-by-sides. WheelerPowersports.com. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. Here at ESPN Arkansas, we rely on Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on the radio station when we're not here. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your stuff. Guardtronic, license E50.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at CarpathSocial.com.
Our Morning Rush Daily Question. If you have read through Hunter Yurichek's email from yesterday, I wonder what your thoughts are. Is this an acceptable way to approach the divide and the gap in the revenue that is facing college athletic programs, including Arkansas? I thought Hunter laid it out pretty well and made it fairly clear what the challenge is. $22 million of revenue, plus you're going to have a reduction of $1 million a year for a decade in your distributions from the NCAA on March Madness and the deals they have. It's an increased cost of scholarships as they're going to raise the scholarship levels, about 75 to 100 scholarships. It's about a $25 million gap, and they're trying to figure out how to piece about 15 of that together. Here's the Morning Rush Daily Question. Is Hunter Yurichek right on his approach? His approach is a 3% increase on concessions at all university athletic events. They're going to reseat basketball, which in my opinion, needed to be done regardless of this because of the increased cost with Coach Cal and in the product that's being put on the floor. Ty, is he handling this in a prudent and correct fashion as the athletic director?
I don't have the acumen to go at this, but I do hear people's frustrations. I don't have the intelligence to be like, no, you're doing it wrong.
What else do you do?
I would trust if you had another scenario or a way, and Christian, you asked the same question I was about to, like, how do you go about doing it? This is coming in 2025, most likely. Like, they've got to make up the $22 million you just talked about, plus the scholarship, plus the $1 million deficit. There's a couple things. So I don't know, like, how you tie this in. It has to be some way, shape, or form. Tennessee's doing the 10% talent fee on tickets. This is a 3% on concessions. I don't know the answer.
Well, I think the answer is two-pronged, and he's laid it out, but not the.
Let's just listen to him.
Yeah, I mean, as I outlined in the letter that I sent out to our fan base, there's going to be some changes in our financial model moving forward. There's going to be some additional expenses that the revenue sharing piece, scholarship piece with the elimination of scholarship limits. And so the concession and merchandise fee simply, it's going to go to the Razorback Foundation to support our increase in the scholarships. We anticipate that's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 75 to 100 new scholarships we will be awarding to our student athletes beginning next year if the lawsuit is approved, with a total price tag on those new scholarships of about $3 million. This is not all about our fans paying the price for these increases. We've got to become more efficient as one of those levers we pull on the expense side so that we can continue to be competitive within the SEC and nationally in all 19 of our sports.
Yeah, so it's two-pronged approach like I was talking about. You got to cut expenses and you have to raise and increase revenues in a variety of ways, because there's not one answer that's going to and listen, you're at the starting spot with this with a $15 million gap he talked about in his letter. That gap is only going to increase as the scale goes up, because as the revenue goes up with increases in the TV contract, increases in everything else, so does that share of the revenue and that actual dollar cost to the athletes as well. So you've got to cut overhead. And some of the faces and the people that have been in there, and college athletics as a whole has a glut of middle management with bloated salaries.
But it doesn't sound like that those people are going to be whittled down based on what.
Oh, I bet you you'll see some
here,
jobs not filled, some people that move on, just
at least
positions that disappear or get consolidated. You
Okay.
know, that's all. That's got to be part of the mix. That's the ugly part. You don't tell people they're losing their job in a letter that goes out to the fan base.
So
but that's an obvious that's going to happen.
Okay, so here would be my question, and this would just be, and I don't even know so if he's asking fans to pay 3%, and Hunter's just the face of this. This is the athletics department as a whole. It's his decision, but what would be like? Would it be wrong for the fans to ask him to take a 3% salary reduction? Is that wrong to ask?
Well,
okay, if you're asking this of us,
got
then
more
what are you
responsibility now.
doing personally for us as an athletics director personally?
But I would counter
be the
that, Ty,
retort.
that his job is harder now than it's ever been.
Okay.
The difficulty of being an athletic director at a Power 5 school is more. The job has never been harder than it is today, and it's only going to get increasingly more difficult. You need a solid. I mean, 3% of his salary is not going to keep the ship afloat. That's not. I hear what you're saying, and it's the right optics, and that might be part of the equation down the road of some of these upper 6-figure, 7-figure administrative salaries take a slight reduction.
Yeah, but that's not. But that's the thing. It's not going to happen.
Well, you don't know that yet.
You start cutting
You don't
people's
know that
salaries,
yet.
they may not work as hard. They may not do.
Well, unless you're going to move to another school, are you going to? I mean, a 5% reduction in your salary, which may equate, you make $1 million to $50,000, but that may be part of the answer. But you're not going to solve this problem with one stroke of a pen or one solution.
Yeah.
The reseeding of the basketball arena is going to be a big deal financially.
Major surplus.
But the other things. And the other things that are going to go into this, and I think this will also free up how you can manage your money and put money into different pots once this court order goes through. But I don't think you're going to see Bud Walton renovated anytime soon, not to any great degree. That may not even be on the back burner. That may be off the stove. You're not going to see coaches as quickly fired with heavy buyouts. I don't think that's not. I'm not talking about just Arkansas. That's everywhere.
Sounds like
you talk about Napier being run out of Florida. Probably should, but you've got to really question: can we financially afford that?
You brought that up, and I think
people have
that's
talked about Alabama. They're not making a change. Number one with DeBoer, but what's his buyout? $70 million.
That's
You're not going to
absurd.
make a knee-jerk emotional reaction. The ones like A&M has made, because you've got all these things to consider now if you're in the AD's chair.
Here's my so we. Like Sam Pittman and Hunter Yurchek and everyone else within the athletic department, Cal and Dave Van Horn and stuff, they're proud to be Arkansas fans and Arkansas coaches and within the athletic department. I think it's difficult sometimes when you're the athletics director that lives and spends 90-something% of his time in Northwest Arkansas, and you're around Northwest Arkansas what Northwest Arkansas, and this is not a shot at Fayetteville, Springdale, Rogers, Cave Springs, any other fan that's listening here right now. But if you drive around Northwest Arkansas, it's as least Razorback as it's ever been. And the reason I say that is because you've got flags of all these different colleges that 20 years ago you did not see. I grew up going to Rogers. I never saw Iowa flags. I never saw USC. I never saw all these different colleges. It was a Razorback outside. So what I'm saying is with the Bud Walton Arena reconstruction that they're going to do, there are going to be people that can afford season tickets that the Razorbacks are their second or third favorite team, but they just want the amenity. They just want the commodity. When you have these second, third, fourth generations that have sat through since 1993 when they were good, then at the end of Nolan's tenure, they weren't good. They sat through Stan Heath. They sat through John Pelfrey. And then they had a little bit of Mike Anderson when it wasn't good. And they still paid. They still came to games, even though we sucked. You're not going to have the same atmosphere in that arena when you're giving away. I don't know. Again, I don't know. I'm not smart.
I mean, you put salary cuts on the table.
And I think that's from an optics standpoint. Okay. I don't know if that's at least saying, you know what? We're going to take one for the team, too. Because I didn't hear anything this morning that is, quote-unquote, taking one for the team.
First of all, you don't put that out there publicly. That would be unprofessional to do it in that
I don't think so. Because what it's showing to fans is this is not all on you. We are a team.
But I understand that, but you know, those are conversations that are first had and probably already have been had. But if the cost of, you know, if there's some kind of you know, call it 15, 20% cost increase passed on to the radio station, let's just say, or any other business. Doesn't have to be ours. Should my first answer be cut salaries?
Hell no, that's us.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, but
everybody's going to be frowning.
The lesson in all of this, you know, now we're not all running around with upper six figure, and not that everyone in that athletic department is, but there's an upper level that makes very healthy salaries. And they may be willing to take those. But I don't think that's a small part of the solution. That's not going to solve the problem.
No, you're right. I just think.
But here's the lesson we all have to learn in all of this. Me, all of us, we're the consumers. We're all going to pay.
I thought you were going to say we're expendable.
No, we're not. We're the most important part of the equation, but we're the part that gets taken for granted. But in the end, when costs rise, when a business model shifts like it is in college athletics, you can bet your bottom dollar when it's as significant as this, the consumer is always going to pay. So I don't care if it's, you know, your washer and dryer at your house now have some kind of new EPA regulation.
Yeah.
And that's imposed on all appliance people. Well, guess who's going to pay for that in the end? You, when you go to buy a new washer or dryer. It's no different now. It's been imposed by the courts that there's going to be revenue sharing. It's going to take $22 million out of the budget. They'll cut some cost, but that other gap is going to be made up by the consumer. It's the way it is in every other walk of life. And it's not going to be any different here.
And that is your long-winded Morning Rush Daily Question here, brought to you by our friends at Cart Pass Social, #1 indoor golf destination in all of Arkansas. Check them out in Lowell, 122 Grant Place. Give them a call at 479-487-3622. CartPassSocial.com. Leagues, corporate events, birthday parties. You don't have to be this like professional golfer. You can show up in gym shorts and a t-shirts if you want. CartPassSocial.com. Let's get to some feedback. Robert's in Fort Smith. Robert, you've got some thoughts on this 3% fee that starts tomorrow. Go ahead.
Hey, guys, you guys know the answer, and that is win. When you win, people don't mind you because, I've been a season ticket holder to sports. Baseball priced me out, but that's fine, but they're winning. Football, I don't want to give you $5,000 for 5 wins, 6 wins. I'm not saying 10 or 12, but I need at least 7 or 8 yearly, not a bunch of hopes and prayers.
Robert, thanks for the call. And I think a lot of people feel that way. I just wish the system worked that way.
Yeah,
you know, where you could.
You've advocated. Hey, you get $500,000 per win.
Yeah, make it a meritocracy. Hey, brought to you by APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group. They have openings right now for CDL licensed drivers with no automatic restriction. They need people to go to work that can drive dump trucks, that can drive cement trucks that take to job sites and deliver their concrete and other products. Go to jobs.crh.com, jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola is an equal opportunity employer.
Let's hear what Clay Henry thinks. He joins us next.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert.
And this is Matt, and we're at the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Folks, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
No, it's not Christmas yet.
No, Mom, he's referring to football season.
Oh, speaking of football, guess what we just got in?
Season tickets?
Sideline passes?
Well, close. We just started receiving the Nike sideline apparel like hats and polos.
Yeah, but did we get jerseys?
Yeah, we got both kinds, cardinal and white.
We also have youth and adult sizes.
That's great. People have been asking for that for quite some time now. Matt, by the way, I did some research, and there's no shot for going viral.
Oh, Lord. Mom, he's a goner.
Anyway, besides Nike, we also have Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many other brands.
All at the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, which is 989 South Razorback Road, next to Baum-Walker Stadium. Matt, you tell them all about them interweb page.
He means the website, which is shop on Razorback.com.
Or give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Get the best deals of the year on select New Holland tractors and hay equipment right now at WT Equipment during New Holland's year-end value bonanza. Get the biggest savings with cash back plus 0% interest, $0 down, and zero due until 2025. Don't miss your chance to harvest our best deals on New Holland's best equipment during value bonanza now at WT Equipment. Offer ends December 31st or while supplies last. For commercial use only. Subject to credit approval and CNH Industrial Capital America LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and restrictions apply.
This is The Morning Rush.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Basketball fans, it's that time of year again. The NBA is back. From opening tip-off to buzzer beaters, BetOnline has you covered with the best odds, biggest promotions, and live in-game betting on all of your favorite team. This season, every game matters. BetOnline has every stat, matchup, breakdown, and live odds to bet on during the games. And it's not just the NBA. BetOnline has odds on everything from football, MLB playoffs, NHL, to even political props. Head to the website today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in DeQueen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike
Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got trophies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Basketball fans, it's that time of year again. The NBA is back. From opening tip-off to buzzer beaters, BetOnline has you covered with the best odds, biggest promotions, and live in-game betting on all of your favorite team. This season, every game matters. BetOnline has every stat, matchup, breakdown, and live odds to bet on during the games. And it's not just the NBA. BetOnline has odds on everything from football, MLB.
Sports talk, hit the ground running. Last and news always done. Game day vibe, got you.
It's a really important game for both of us, and you know, there's going to be a lot of energy and a lot of. I'm just glad we're at home and having the home crowd with us, and you know, that means a lot to us, and you know, we're just trying to make the fans in the state of Arkansas proud, and we're just glad that we can, you know, do it in that place right there.
That's your starting quarterback, Taylon Green, earlier this week as Arkansas takes on Ole Miss. Our friend Brett Norsworthy, Stats, who does radio and does pre and post for Ole Miss, Tommy was texting me. He said, "I swear me and Tommy were separated at birth, the exact same worldview, very literal, nothing vague." He also points out that Ole Miss and Arkansas are 8-8 the last 16 games. He went to Gaston's the last couple of days. He's had some fun out there.
Good for him. Good for Stats. That's an awesome place to be. We'll tell you about Gaston's a little bit later on. Clay's coming up in just a little bit as well. We'll get the thoughts of the Hall of Famer, and he wrote a very detailed inside look at Clint Gaston and Gaston's White River Resort. It's a really fun read. You can find it at hitthatline.com. Brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Great brands like Grand Design, Forest River, now Brinkley Model Zs are there as well, and you get a lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
Clay, is that you?
He was setting it up.
Oh, okay. All right, Clay. We'll get to Clay in a sec. Let's go to Justin first. Justin's listening in Alma, home of the Airedales this morning. Justin, good morning.
Morning. Hey, what's up, guys?
What's going on?
So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the 3% on concession.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's a great idea. I mean, they just need to give people a little perspective, right? So if you're spending, say you go to the game, you're spending $100 on concessions, which I've done. I've spent more than that in one game. You're paying $3, right?
And guess who else is paying part of it? The Ole Miss fans that'll be there, or the if you'd have done it, all the visiting fans that.
Well, there's an idea.
Well,
How
it's no
about
different than sales tax.
just add a double the percentage on visiting fans, or triple it, or quadruple it. There's an idea, Tommy. I hadn't thought about that.
Well, they'll be paying the 3% as well. I mean, in the end, Justin, it's a small expenditure on each fan. I would bet over the course of a year, if you spent $1,000 in every sport you went to, which I bet most people don't, it's going to cost you $30 a year. So I imagine the average fan is going to be out between $10 and $20 annually because of this 3%.
Exactly. Plus, say you got 70,000 fans that spend $100, which won't happen. But if you do, that's $210,000 a game, and they only cost them $3 a piece.
All right.
So, I mean, it's a little perspective.
Justin, here's my retort, though, on that. Are you okay if the United States government just like, hey, we're going to put 3% more on so-and-so? Right?
They do surprise me.
But what I'm saying, are you a fan of it? No.
Am I a fan? I'm a patriot. I pay my taxes, but they gouge us big time. The government, if you want to put it that way, the government charges you way more than their fair share of taxes, and we just pay it. So why can't we give our Razorbacks $3?
And you're not forced to buy concessions. I'm
That is
forced to
true.
pay taxes.
Yeah. No, that is true. All right, I think I hear Clay now. Clay, what's up, man?
Hello, I've been listening to you guys. I've been running around town. It's an interesting morning. Listen to Bo and Chuck and Hunter, and y'all got your take on it. One of the things to remember, and Tommy, you and Ty have already discussed it a little bit, is cutting expenses. That's going to happen.
Yeah,
they're going to travel differently. There may be some of these teams that are using small charters, and they may schedule differently. There may be more regional scheduling for some of the other sports. And,
Chuck not get his own private plane anymore?
for instance, soccer, they may not they may not go to Michigan State in the non-conference. That's a charter. They may play someplace that they can drive in a bus, like UCA, or those are the kind of things that Dave Van Horn talked about 5, 6, 7 years ago about playing the in-state teams. It makes sense for travel and expenses, and just about the cutting costs for salaries. They've done that already. They did that in COVID. They reduced throughout their athletic department.
Yeah, early retirement.
Not early retirement. They reduced salaries. The head coaches took cuts. I mean, they did that. I don't know if it was 15%, 20%. They did it across the board. Salaries in the athletic department. Those are the kind of things that they they may have to do, but it's line item. It is, if you've run a business, you've got your P&L, you've got line item. Employees have never seen a P&L. As publisher of a magazine, I mean, I had printouts for my account, and you go down there, and it's like, all right, we're doing budget. And we didn't bring as much money in last year. It was a bad season. Hogs Illustrated, our revenue fluctuated between wins and losses. People were more passionate, bought more subscription, more advertising when the teams did well. And you went from year to year. Okay, this is going to be a good year. We might make a little more. Well, then about halfway through the year, you look at your revenue and your P&L, and you do reductions. Tommy does that.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, Ty, we're not traveling to that game. That's just things that we do. That's what Hunter's going to do. And you may not have a hiring freeze, but you might. When somebody leaves and gets a better position, the guy that you bring in, it might be at a reduction of salary. You may not cut a position, but you might really reduce what you pay that position. So gradually, you bring expenses down. That's what. But you're not going to broadcast that. We're paying less now for these positions. It's just going to quietly happen.
Let's talk to Shannon Harrison. He's got some thoughts on this. Shane, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for taking my call, guys. Yes, I was just thinking, first of all, I was thinking, you have a choice. And you have a choice not to go to the game. And as you said, you have a choice not to buy concessions. And so you're gonna be able to, if you want to go, you got to play ball. But on the same token, there's other ways that I think that they could attain some extra money, once they start streamlining, because this is like a big company. And once they start streamlining, they're going to cut some jobs. And instead of asking them to cut their salaries, they might have to do a little more, or spread out the jobs that need to be done through the people that are still there, and that's one aspect. And then the other thing is you know, as a fan that goes to all the football games and have for 16 years and had tickets, you know, every year I've been asked to give a pledge on top of what I pay tickets for.
Mm-hmm.
Let's let these guys put their money where their mouth is and just ask them to give a pledge and see what they want to do, and you'll attain extra money that way too, instead of forcing them to do it.
I mean, you tell me, I don't think you'd be able to raise enough doing it from a volunteer way, right? Is that a fair assessment on my part, Clay?
I think
is that fair?
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
It's
not a
like
terrible
everything
shot,
else,
Dane.
and you guys have mentioned it. It all gets easier as you win more, and I mean the pressure to win is never greater.
And you can't budget a business and plan on a business around voluntary contributions.
Yeah. It
You just
doesn't.
can't.
Shane, that's not a terrible idea, and I think some would be willing to contribute, but I think that the example we have in front of us is NIL, and they have not been successful as an athletics department, at least relative to others in that category, right? And that is a volunteer basis. Is that another decent take by me from a volunteer standpoint?
Here's another aspect that is out there.
Mm-hmm.
When you change coaches, the idea that you're going to go hire a coach that you have to pay a buyout to bring in, that's probably gone.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to, you have to pay the coach a buyout. Well, you can hire a winner at a smaller level. You may not be going and hiring, another sitting Power 5 head coach, and everybody says, okay, this is who we're going to get. Well, the athletic directors, slowly but surely, the big buyouts are going to come off the table. You're just not going to pay them. Yeah. And because you don't have it, you can't. So in other words, if you go hire Rhett Lashley from SMU, well, there's not $3 million to pay his buyout.
Yeah, someone would outside the some donor would probably have to come up with that amount to be able to let you do and afford you some things like this. KB in Crawford County says this points out even more that the game in Dallas and the games in Little Rock have to end, because you think about the travel expenses that we were talking about. You think about the lost revenue from having a game in a smaller stadium in Little Rock and giving up those home experiences every other year. I think
you can talk about the game in Dallas. It's gone.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah.
It's not going to be played ever again.
Good point.
It's not like it has to end. It has ended. Yeah. That is finite. It's over.
But to KB's point, there are fans that want to find another opponent and continue that. And I don't know that that's a majority, but I think
it's going to happen.
I agree. But I think it emphasizes the point that you got to play every game in Fayetteville moving forward.
So the other aspect of this is the reseeding of Bud Walton Arena. Hunter Yurchek touched on it this morning on Chuck and Bo.
And guys, we have been looking and talking about a reseat of Bud Walton Arena for several years, and we had not moved forward with it because we thought we were going to go through a major renovation to that facility. That major renovation of Bud Walton's kind of on the side burner. It's not on the back burner. We're going to have to do something with Bud Walton Arena, but we decided that let's go ahead and move forward with the reseeding of Bud Walton. We sold out that building in 28 days back in June. With the hiring of Coach Cal, I think our program is as hot as any program in the country. And we just felt like now was the right time to go through that process.
This is a smaller contingency of our audience, but I still think it's a big deal, and it tugs at the heartstrings at some like Sandy and Rogers, who've had basketball season tickets for 30-plus years. We can probably not outbid people for upper deck front row seats. We're just getting pushed out more and more. I think on texts like this, because I received 2 or 3 of these yesterday from my friends whose dads, grandpas have had their tickets for 20, 30 years, like that same thing. I don't know the answer. I don't. You're smarter than me. I'll tell you that. Don't ever record that. You're smarter than me when it comes to that. Clay's smarter than me when it comes to that. But there has to be a way for someone that has had season tickets for this long and not priced, but let me get to the end, and not price them out.
Well, it depends on how you define pricing them out, but there has to be an increase, right?
Based on who you hired?
Hey, Ty, this is the sad, sad truth. There is no free lunch.
Yeah.
There is, it's just the way it's what happened at Baum Walker Stadium.
Yep.
It was gonna happen. I'll go back 15 years ago when Jeff Long came. I sat down with Chris Wyrick, who was running the Razorback Foundation at the time, and he said the first thing that he looked at was how many parking passes there were. It's a finite number. It is small. There is just not enough parking. Well, when you have supply that is really limited and you have great demand, what do? You raise the cost. It was a surefire way of raising another $1 million or $1.5 million. There were people that had parking passes in the pit, lot 44, that weren't even making a donation because they'd been there forever. They didn't want to take them away. And in some cases, leadership just like, well, those are our best friends. They have to pay, and they raised parking passes. It was a huge problem for some people. They're all at once in lot 56. Their choice was that we can't afford to pay for lot 44 anymore. It's the same thing. The same thing was happening. People were buying season tickets in baseball, with a small donation, and they had people that are willing to be 10,000 donors for those people get the tickets. And it's the same thing, supply and demand. And you can't raise ticket prices until you have a huge demand. Well, they've got it now with John Calipari. Everybody knows that he's going to bring in first-round draft picks, and that's what's going to be out there on the floor. There's going to be a lot of Sidney Moncriefs every year. Yeah. We want to see them.
And there was and Tommy, you pointed that there has been ticket prices going up a little bit on the Musselman era, but this is different.
The donation level has changed, but they haven't reseated the arena like they did Baum Walker.
There's decisions being made on the expense side. They were going to raise money to renovate Bud Walton. Now, not so much the demand is there. John Calipari says we'd rather have the money for NIL than to have suites. And they got to fix the roof. It leaks. But I was really interested in John Calipari said, hey, we can put buckets out there on a rainy practice day. It's like it's not that big a problem. We got bigger fish to fry. And that's the way. But this is a problem throughout the Power Five. Yeah. It is not an Arkansas problem. It is a national event that every athletic director in every school is having to address. Yeah. And it's not going to go away. We don't really know what the end result is yet. And it's like, we'll take you back to COVID. Things changed every 2 weeks. We didn't even know they were going to play games. Now we're going to play games. Now we're going to have limited amount of attendance. Now we're going to eliminate everything but conference games. We're going to play 10. It changed every 2 weeks. This is going to change. The courts are not through with this. Don't know if this is even going to be what the courts agree to, and whether it'll be appealed, whether it be upheld. It is a ever-changing. What's the word that we like to use in business, Tommy? It's really fluid right now.
Yeah, it is, and change is inevitable. And if you're not willing to change with the times, and this is forced change. This is a disruption from the outside. We can get into that a little bit more. Clay's visit with us here on Friday is brought to you by the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. Clay's got a column up right now at hitthatline.com that features and talks about Clint Gaston and the history of our friends at Gaston's White River Resort. We'll detail that a little bit later on. Andy's Frozen Custards getting ready for the weekend. They have 2 locations in Conway. They're on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, also on JFK in North Little Rock. Be sure and get the Pick 6 for the weekend. Mix and match 6 of your favorite flavors for the perfect game time treat. Swing by Andy's Frozen Custards, Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, 2 locations in Conway, and don't forget North Little Rock as well. At Andy's Frozen Custards, walk up or drive through. Hey, they're ready to serve you.
JR and Lowell asked this question to me. He says, Ty, if another company offered you $20,000 more, would you go or stay because you like Tommy? This is a business decision. I'm a third-generation ticket holder. I hate the ticket prices going up, but it's a part of it. And I think for each individual, Clay, you brought up the baseball, which I think is the only comparison that we have that's large scale. It's even not as large as Bud Walton. Football, I'm guessing we'll go through this again at some point.
When they win.
Yes.
When they win
the
and there's demand
yes.
match up.
No,
Yeah.
you're right. Like for Danny White, who's the athletics director of Tennessee, who they have, what is it, Tommy, 20,000 waiting season ticket people that want to buy season tickets, but they've already sold out like 70-something thousand. So he's in a much better situation with his football program.
Andy has over
right now.
100,000 seats.
To your question, JR, I would not leave. I really wouldn't. But again, it's to each his own.
Good man.
I'm a good company man through and through on that situation. We'll talk more about this. We got our SEC update coming up. Some of the games we'll look at this weekend with our buddy Clay Henry, which, again, his latest column on Gaskins is up on hitthatline.com. I read it this morning. I didn't cry or tear up, but I did think it was kind of an emotional article, and I think it's worth about 10 minutes of your time if you get to it today or sometime this weekend. More of the Morning Rush when we return here on a Football Friday.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
Ty, fortunately, has saved the world and not yet procreated.
You're listening to the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're needing a used car, we've got them. Everything from the most affordable cash cars to road-ready certified with warranty. The best used cars your money can buy. And we've got a finance option for everyone, whether you have great credit and you're looking for the best rate or you're needing to build your credit with a reputable lender. We've got you. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
From the Buffalo River to the Louisiana line, from the Texas and Oklahoma borders to the capital city and into the Delta, the natural...
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got trophies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Basketball fans, it's that time of year again. The NBA is back. From opening tip-off to buzzer beaters, BetOnline has you covered with the best odds, biggest promotions, and live in-game betting on all of your favorite teams. This season, every game matters. BetOnline has every stat, matchup, breakdown, and live odds to bet on during the games. And it's not just the NBA. BetOnline has odds on everything from football, MLB playoffs, NHL, to even political props. Head to the website today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Colin-Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley of Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Except we've got SEC buyers. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC has got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Trusted pool experts and your source for backyard fun. Locations in Springdale, Fort Smith, and now in Greenland. Always online at burtonpools.com.
Guys, I don't know if you caught Bruce Feldman's article on the helmet communication. I had wondered about this, and not just for college, but the NFL. When it comes to when the quarterback is talking to the offensive coordinator, the head coach, this is a piece, or a little piece from him. The system requires a secure radio frequency that only a team can access. It was discovered during the Texas A&M Arkansas game at AT&T Stadium in Arlington on the 28th of September that it was possible, though not easy, for the frequencies to be accessed for those who are not authorized with a scanner. Those are concerns that others can listen in to access an opponent coach-to-player comm, a source told The Athletic from the Big 12. So the Big 12 apparently has instructed their teams to return their coach-to-helmet communication and equipment sources to home office, which I thought was kind of interesting for Bruce Feldman. And that this apparently may or may not have been accessible during the Arkansas A&M game.
In the NFL, they run that. The league runs those communications.
Yeah.
They have carts. They run it. They do it. And, there's encrypted communication between the officials that are on the field and the replay booth in Birmingham. That's why there's a lot more that goes on behind the scenes in coordinating all these frequencies. But anything encrypted can be
decrypted.
Unencrypted or decrypted or ciphered.
What's that show from Watch Talkers? I can't think of it from back in the day.
Yeah,
Code
so
Talkers.
You've got analysts on your staff, and then you've got this one guy, and his title is in quotes, the hacker.
The hacker. I just thought that was interesting. Again, Bruce Feldman of The Athletic had that, not just for Big 12 stuff, but there was a mention of Arkansas and Texas A&M. So the Razorbacks host Ole Miss this weekend. We haven't talked maybe enough about it this morning because I think we've spent a lot of time on the Hunter Yurachek stuff, the email from yesterday, and some of his comments from this morning. One of the intriguing parts, at least to me, about this game is you've got Christopher Pupal, one of the transfers from last year's season, that's playing Arkansas. Here's what Lane Kiffin said about the Ole Miss linebacker.
He's awesome. He's such a cool kid and old school player. I just love how he practices, how much he cares. Remember, we had a short field in LSU, and we held it a field goal, and he came out yelling, "That's not enough. They shouldn't have scored at all." Which, unfortunately, that's kind of rare nowadays. I really do think that players have changed due to a number of factors, including money and how much they actually love the game. So, really cool when you find one.
So he's eyeing him for obvious reasons. Clay, this kid's had a pretty good year in Oxford, and he's going to be one of the main pieces that Arkansas is going to try and get around tomorrow.
He's a good player, but what's really fun when you play inside linebacker and you got 4 defensive linemen in front of you that require double team blocks. All 4 of them do. You can't double all of them, but he's running free. He's not, they're not singling up these linemen and sending, somebody to the next level to block him. You just can't do that. And they've got two lines like that. They're 8 deep. They got good backups, and so he's seldom blocked. And the good linebackers, just remember Lloyd Phillips. He had Ronnie Cavanis behind him, and he's making 20 tackles a game. I mean, you go back and look at the numbers. Nobody ever touched him because they're doubling Lloyd Phillips. And, Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones played inside of Lloyd. Well, nobody ever double-teamed them because they're doubling Jim Williams and Lloyd Phillips, the defensive tackles. So it starts up front. Those linebackers have a blast when they've got great linemen in front of them.
All right, other games this weekend in the Southeastern Conference include Vanderbilt against Auburn, Maine and Oklahoma, Florida, Georgia, world's largest cocktail party, UMass at Mississippi State, A&M at South Carolina, and Kentucky at Tennessee. Clay, one of my upset picks this weekend was A&M losing to South Carolina. What do you think about that possibility of it happening in Williams-Brice Stadium?
Oh, I guess it's possible. I mean, I think South Carolina's made some mileage this year with some really good defensive ends, and they're able to slow people down.
They got a good D-line, yeah.
They couldn't in the past. It seems like everybody has been able to go out and find good defensive linemen out of the portal. Arkansas has done that. The problem is that they have a poor offensive line, and I think the Texas A&M defense will give Dow Loggins' group a lot of problems. You have the potential for a letdown, and South Carolina has, they've been on a roller coaster. They had LSU on the ropes and couldn't pull it off. They had Alabama on the ropes and couldn't pull it off. They finally got one, but they should have the attention of Texas A&M. But there are wrecks every week in the SEC, and this one, that game, Texas A&M at South Carolina, that might be the trap game of the week.
Yeah. All right, that's your SEC update. It's brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. They have their hot tub warehouse clearance sale going on right now, featuring hot spring spas with over 100 tubs in stock, ready to deliver. Prices start at $39.99, payments as low as $58 a month, and you can see all of the hot spring spas, the different models and seating arrangements and features and lights and sound systems and all the things that you can personalize your experience with at burtonpools.com, or stop in any of their now 3 locations, Springdale, Greenland, and in Fort Smith. At Burton Pools and Spas, they do more than build hot tubs and pools. They build long-term relationships, again, online at burtonpools.com. Plays with us on Fridays is brought to you by the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission, and that is spot on this week, Clay. Considering your recent column that we've got at hitthatline.com that features Clint Gaston in the history of Gaston's White River Resort. If you like the White River, if you like the trout fishing, this is an article that anyone listening that loves those sports or hears us talk about Gaston's is going to love to read.
I think it was a fun sit down. I can go back 20 years to sitting in that same chair with his grandfather opposite me at that same desk. It was fun to go in there and see, Clint's made some changes. There, some subtle things, but it's still the same Gaston's, the same great restaurant. You're going to get the same, Gaston's experience that you got 20 years ago. It's just outstanding. We talked about the river, and he's on. We sat beside each other this winter on the Stakeholders Advisory Committee for Arkansas Game and Fish. It's interesting that Game and Fish is sponsoring my segment because I've been working closely with Game and Fish, as has Clint. We've gotten to be friends. You need to look at that picture that's on the top. It's a 1923 Ford hot rod that his grandfather rebuilt, and this kind of tells you something about his grandfather. Clint was telling me today that they made a trip to Clinton for a breakfast when he was 12 years old, and his grandfather let him drive the hot rod back. That's a different time, a different era, right?
But Clint's a young man.
How much older?
He's only in his mid-30s.
I was going to say we're not
so
far
I mean,
off.
you go back. For me at least, that doesn't seem like that long ago. When you think about what that'd be 23 years ago, that doesn't seem like that long ago. So, but what a treat for a 12-year-old.
Oh yeah, I mean, just look at the picture of that. He's sitting in there. I think he probably was about 15 or 16. His grandfather's kneeling in front of that hot rod, but it is
cool
a sweet ride. Yeah.
So you can read Clay's column online, hitthatline.com, brought to you by the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. When you renew your Arkansas hunting license, and a lot of you are doing that right now with hunting seasons here and Modern Gun opening up next weekend, you renew so much more than just the hunt. You renew your traditions. Hunting license seasons is always wide open, so don't put it off. Today is the day to pull the trigger on the most essential part of any hunting trip or fishing trip. That's renewing your hunting license at huntnatural.com.
So Arkansas also plays basketball tonight this weekend. This is in Dallas-Fort Worth, Dickies Arena. The Razorbacks will take on TCU. I think I heard Chuck and Bo say over 3,000 tickets have been sold. Chuck also mentioned that I guess Cal's going to address the fans at some point during the game, which I thought was kind of interesting, or like pre or post or something. So I'm curious to see what that looks like. This is something like if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you got nothing to do on Friday night, you're not going to a kid's high school game or something, I think it's well worth the ticket price to watch these guys, especially when you don't get a chance to make it up to Fayetteville that often.
Well, it's not going to be on TV, so you either go and buy a ticket or you listen to Chuck. That's your only option. Am I right? No TV?
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Yep, and no opposing radio broadcasts either, so there'll be some TCU fans that are listening to Chuck and Z tonight. What do you think that is for TCU fans? So, like, Chuck's obviously a very, like, polished broadcaster, and TCU fans will, like, tune into him. What do you think they're saying the first time they listen to Z tonight? If you have a TCU fan that's not going to the game, that's listening, and they're like, oh, well, this is how I listen to it. Clay, what do you think the first thing that they say, a TCU fan says when, who's this guy that we're listening to?
He's a damn homer.
First thing off the cuff,
I mean, it won't take 30 seconds. Yeah, when an official walks by and Z says, well, so-and-so just missed 3 calls in a row, and they're thinking, well, did he really? Because they're not able to watch. But yeah, it's listening to Z is a treat. You know, he's the Arkansas broadcaster of the year. He's our Arkansas.
Yeah.
He's not the TCU broadcaster of the year. He's Arkansas's broadcaster of the year.
I didn't realize how bad Arkansas has whooped TCU over the years in basketball. 105-38.
A lot of old FWC games. Yeah,
they weren't trying for the bulk of that time. That was
in basketball.
School.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't try. I mean, I can't even tell you who their coaches were in basketball. That's how little they tried. There was a period where they kind of picked it up. They hired, which nut did they hire? It wasn't Dickey. It was Danny. I mean, not Danny.
Denny?
It was, yeah, I think that's right. Dennis. It was Dennis.
Okay. Dennis built Ouachita Baptist.
Yeah, and then they, there was a period where they didn't try in basketball. But I mean, Jamie Dixon's their coach now. They hired him away from Pitt.
3 straight NCAA tournaments. I think I remember reading the game notes.
They'll have some good looking players. I mean, he usually has some wide bodies on the block. I mean, they may not be 7 foot, but they'll be able to take up a spot on the block and make you cover them.
They got this kid, and I had the game notes with it. I don't know where they went. They had the kid that was the backup center for Kansas 2 years ago when you beat him in Des Moines. I can't think of his name, but that's one of their main pieces that you'll have to take on tonight. I don't know if I'm curious to see. I don't know if Jonas Adu is back tonight, but that's another thing I'm trying to watch for is like when he's going to be, because he'll be a starter. And
I think what you're really going to watch week to week with this Arkansas team are these young guards, are they consistent? I mean, Boogie Flan was he I mean, it was like tidal wave.
Yeah.
city. I mean, what he did in that game, and he can't do that every week, I don't think. So, but I'm just guessing, a freshman, it's like Sidney Moncrief wasn't like that as a freshman. Ty Dade wasn't like that every weekend, but I think that's what we expect. Expectations can get you in trouble. But it was what you hope is that you continue to see development on the defensive side. Their quickness and athletic ability should allow for solid defense, and they cause turnovers, and turnovers and defense usually travels. And this is an away from Bud Walton game. And I want to see, does their defense travel, or does TCU shoot a lot of free throws?
And I bet Cal's interested in answering those questions as well. Hear the game tonight right here on most of these ESPN Arkansas stations and at hitthatline.com. We're brought to you by our friends at Matchstick Studios. Your website for your business is like a utility. It's like your water, your payment, your electric payment. You got to have a great-looking website in order to be able to conduct business, to attract new leads and customers. And if you're struggling with that right now, Modular Orange can write, design, launch, host, secure, and keep your site up to date for $95 a month with no upfront cost or no additional fees as well. If you already have a website but you're paying high monthly fees, stop throwing that money away and let Modular Orange build your website on their platform. Again, just $95 a month with no upfront fees. You'll save money and get a website that performs even better. Go to modularorange.com for details, and they'll answer all your questions. That's modularorange.com.
All right, so we got more to get to. Christian made an awesome montage of some of the best Arkansas Ole Miss endings, both sides, because Ole Miss has won in some crazy, miraculous ways as well. We'll get to some of the better games in the history of this football program coming up. We'll jump back into Hunter Yurchek's email/conversation with Chuck and Bo this morning. There might be another tidbit or two that we can play for you as we continue on a Football Friday with our friend Clay Henry next.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
This is former Coach Houston Nutt, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T.
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text REP to 321321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text REP to 321321. That's REP to 321321.
This is the Morning Rush.
Child's please. Touchdown.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're needing a used car, we've got them. Everything from the most affordable cash cars to road-ready certified with warranty. The best used cars your money can buy. And we've got a finance option for everyone, whether you have great credit and you're looking for the best rate, or you're needing to build your credit with a reputable lender. We've got you. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
Deer hunting in the comfort of an enclosed 6x6 Lazy Man fiberglass box blind. It's affordable at Jelco Outdoors. Lazy Man Fat Girl Blinds, built here in Fort Smith with your choice of 6-foot or 10-foot tower blind platforms, starting at $22.99.99. Box blinds are great for taking the kids, with plenty of room and out of the weather. Check out the deer blinds at Jelco Outdoors. Hunt longer in the comfort of a Lazy Man box blind, sold locally at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
I doubt you thought paint was anything like football, right? So you've got a favorite football team. Your painting team at the paint store in Van Buren gets you a solid primer, the perfect color, and a durable defense. That is what you want, right? Our team of Richards Paint and expertise always win for you. Whether contractor or do-it-yourself, we have the best team. The paint store in Van Buren. Go Hogs!
It's fall cleanup time at Gray Brothers Equipment. From the large M7 Series cab Kubotas to the L2502, the best-selling compact tractor in Arkansas and Oklahoma. Gray Brothers and Kubota will make your fall cleanup a breeze. With great pricing and interest rates as low as 0% for 84 months, they're making fall cleanup enjoyable again at Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon. Now through 12/31/2024. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbor since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, 2-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howell in Van Buren.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
What name of one Razorback? Number 1. Zone read. Give to Jackson at the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas. Jaquindon Jackson with his 10th rushing touchdown of the year, and Arkansas is back within 1 score.
You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
You won't have Jaquindon Jackson this weekend, unfortunately. Hopefully he's back for the Texas game, but you will have Braylon Russell. Here's Coach Pittman on him earlier this week.
He's got a big body, physical. He runs low to the ground. Obviously, he's hard to stop, for negative yards because he's got such big legs as well. The offensive line, it seems like when he's in there, they've been performing at their best as well. I think it says a lot about how he ran in high school. That's how he ran in high school. Big runs come from running hard when you get the football and not from, I'm going to get a big run. It's breaking a tackle. It's hitting the hole on time, the timing, and all those things. He's been prepared for a long time, and he's continued to do that here for us.
Guys, Braylon went for 175 last week, most rushing yards by a freshman in college football this season. Tommy's going up against the number 1 rushing defense tomorrow. Does he get over 100 yards?
No. They're giving up. I know non-conference games can skew your stats, but they're not giving up a lot of yards on the ground. Clay, you talked earlier about that monstrous defensive line. 100 plus as a team, you got to 150 as a team, you're probably going to win the game.
When you got 8 guys you can rotate, Clay, that changes a lot of different things on that D-line.
Yeah. So it's about balance, and to get balance, you've got to run it some. it was notable that they weren't able to run it against LSU, so they went away from that, and that played right into LSU's hands. They knew they were one-dimensional, and they can pin their ears back and go after the quarterback. So it's a double-edged deal. You want to be able to do both well, and that's it's Bobby Petrino. I've talked to him many times, and it's about being able to run it when they know you're going to run it, and being able to throw it when they know you're going to throw it. So, but if they're able to do both, and I'll point to the first half of the Oklahoma State game where they ripped them a new one, and Oklahoma State couldn't stop the run and they couldn't stop the pass, and you don't know how to set your defense. LSU did a really good job against the tackles. I think it's significant that Arkansas is now about 4 weeks into this deal of moving Amarian Harris to tackle and then getting Patrick Kudus back. And I think we'll see if that is significant this week against a better defensive line.
Plus, I know he's a young player, and this is going to be a tough challenge, but Kobe Branham still has 3 more games he can play in. Coach mentioned him earlier this week. So you may see some guys at least in relief, and this game will be interesting to watch reserve linemen just because it will be your biggest challenge in the trenches. We're brought to you by River City Coatings. Whether it's a small or large job, River City Coatings can handle your powder coating needs. They're now offering laser cutting, press brake forming, and welding as part of the services there at River City Coatings. So now they can cut out an image or a logo, something for you, and then powder coat it. So all your fabricating, forming, welding, and powder coating needs are all there with River City Coatings. Hey, call them, talk about your project. They'll give you a great price and get it turned around quick. 471-7675, 479-461-7675, or go to rivercitycoatings.com.
In the last 16 games, Arkansas and Ole Miss are 8-8. There have been some memorable moments in this series.
And Arkansas celebrates a 58-56-7 overtime victory. Picked off by Rohan Gaines. He's got a touchdown. He's got a chance. Touchdown, Arkansas. You can actually feel Razorback Stadium shaking underneath our feet right now. Can they get there? Balls, big hit. They do it. 4th and 25. It's complete to Henry. Ole Miss knocks it away. Incomplete. No correction. It's on lateral. Arkansas keeps it going. Collins is going to take it inside the 15, and he has a first down on the lateral. Morgan, fake it. Allen takes it. Down. And he is in. The 2-point conversion. Arkansas wins it in overtime.
I still remember talking to Carter Blackburn about that call. He was a friend. We actually met at a baseball series back in the day, in basketball as well. He's still mad. He initially saw one thing and it ended up being another. But I don't think I'll ever see anything like that in college football again. What we saw on that 4th and 25, I really don't.
Oh, no,
as crazy as that ending was with Hunter, the late Alex Collins, Brandon Allen, that whole play that ended up playing out that day in Oxford, Mississippi.
But Clay, a wild ending and a shootout down to the end, I think that's what we expect. We'd be surprised if one team dominated the other tomorrow.
Yeah, the series, you go all the way back, and there's been some great games. There's probably no sound on this, but 1954, Buddy Bob Benson to Preston Carpenter and the Powder River play 6-0 against a great Ole Miss team. That's what united 75 counties behind the Razorbacks. That game, that's the little check mark where you say Arkansas football has become relevant throughout the state. The 25 Little Pigs went to the Cotton Bowl. That play is as significant as anything in the history of the program. but it's probably so far back that Ty, you're not going to bring it up. That's why I'm here, I guess.
We play. Give me.
I know somebody who was born in 1954.
I was born in 1954.
I was talking about
I
you.
was 4 months old. Yeah.
I was going to say, Tommy, we played that in rejoins, right?
The Powder River play?
Yeah.
I don't know if we have that one.
All right, leave me out to dry. I was hoping, in a good gesture of goodwill. We've absolutely played that before. No, I didn't want you to lie. We played that before. We have
the Powder River
I give
play?
up. I give up.
Right.
Buddy Bob Benson fades back.
Yeah.
Preston Carpenter is alone. There's the pass.
Yeah.
He's rolling on a 72-yard touchdown play. Touchdown, Arkansas. There you have it.
There you go. Now you got the recording. My dad played college football for Buddy Bob Benson. I had it right. I just couldn't get the words out. Yeah. He was not an easy coach to play for.
All right, that's going to do it, Clay, for us. Appreciate you jumping on per usual, and we'll do it again next week.
Okay, I'm headed to Northwest Arkansas already. And there's not too many Wisconsin or Iowa flags over there, Ty. I listened to you earlier. I haven't seen those.
When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479